fiddling around with them.
Well, actually, that car at Le Mans would have run with the Spats. They're running them without here because they're running in the sprint formula. And if you look at the decals, actually,
But Purdy's time, look at Andy Purdy's time, 1:40.608. Purdy is absolutely flying around here.
and remember, he has also done the whole race on his own so far.
He's down in 9th at the moment, John. He's got work to do.
He has, but you wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, that's the fastest lap we've had thus far.
Justin Law's done a cracking first stint. He expected to drive 2 cars, but instead he gets to talk to Diana Binks.
Hello. Yeah, I can hear. I've got Justin with me. Okay, Justin, what happened out there? Obviously, we saw you had a puncture and had to come in.
Yeah, end of the main straight, had a puncture. Just about managed to hang on to it and crawled it back to the pits. And then we got to stop go in the pit lane, so for spinning the wheels, apparently.
That was such a shame because you had a really good start, didn't you?
Yeah, it wasn't easy out there. It was very slippy, and you know the Jag's a heavy old car, and it was on edge the whole time. So I'm really disappointed that we got put back so far, but I think Andy's doing a fair job out there at the moment, so we'll see what happens.
All right, thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
That was the second stop then.
Yeah, for spinning the tyres as he went out. Well, that's a sort of Le Mans rule, isn't it?
It is very much so.
It wasn't a rule in those days when those cars were new.
Now that is the incident that Justin was talking about. 180 miles an hour, brake for the corner. Oh dear, I have no left rear tyre.
Yes. No wonder he's a little red in the face when Diana interviewed him.
Can I just mention, however, a lot of people criticise Grand Prix circuits for how far the walls are away, but the tarmac runoff area and the wall being back saved that car from damage. He was able to get the car slowed down. So, gone are the days, thank goodness, of catch fencing and things like that. And gravel traps often don't really do anything, and he was able to get that car back without bringing out a safety car.
Another fast lap from Purdy down in the 1:41s. Buncombe, Lockie, Hartwell, Buncombe and Lockie doing 1:44. So by far the fastest car out there, John, is that Nissan.
Just does take me back to 1990. Buncombe still leading then in this Silverstone Jaguar. There is Martin Stretton. And that is a change of position for third position there, as Stretton goes through into third ahead of Hart in that From Air machine. So Martin Stretton, who's had a cracking weekend, we're going to have to rename it the Martin Stretton Festival if he keeps getting on the podium as many times as this.
There is Purdy though. Oh, that's Hart.
That's Hart.
Yeah,
that's Hart.
Yeah.
Hart in the Porsche, the two From Air cars. Very similar livery to Nissan, with a little more black around the front end and no headlights, which won't be a problem because we'll be finishing before darkness here. That Porsche, difficult for me to remember that car running in that livery actually. I always remember the Nissan rather than the Porsche.
This car I think ran in the red, white and blue for its earlier Le Mans appearances, and I think in the last year ran in this colour scheme.
Ran in Japan quite a lot in that colour scheme.
Yeah, had a big endurance championship in Japan as well.
And that car was immensely successful in 88 and 89, winning at Fuji in the 500 Ks and the 500 mile race, and Suzuka in the 1000 Ks, and then repeated its win at Fuji in 89. Now let's have a look at some more battles further down the field and down the order. He's Stretton just carving his way past more of the back markers. I'm also looking at Bob Burridge. Bob Burridge's times, he's got himself up to 7th position in the Aston Martin 18 that we looked at earlier on. Andy Wallace, a 43 last time around.
And down in 9th place, Duncan Mackay and Robin Ward in their Spice SE88. That's a 3.5 litre car leading that class at the moment. Haven't seen much of them.
There's the Richard Lloyd racing car with Mike Wilds on board, and the reason that Toby mentioned earlier on that it was significant that, of course, Richard Lloyd was sadly killed in the same plane crash that claimed the life of David Leslie, for whom this race is named.
Now look down to 14th place, your mate Pat Thomas there. I think he's leading his class, John.
Yeah, there's a great story about this car. Basically, his wife Sue brought it back across from the States for him, and Pat Thomas and the guys at Kelton Motors, who are more normally associated with preparing Lotuses, have done a cracking job. Little Tony has worked about 3 or 4 days a week on it for 7 months.